Okay, so for our scale pattern, we've been learning about this major scale pattern with the scale degrees. Like if you just start with your scale degrees and that's the first note, if you go in this pattern with a whole step, another whole step, and then a half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, and then half step, it doesn't matter which note is your first note, you end up with a major scale. Okay? So what I'd like to have us do first is take your open lowest string, and you're just going to hold your instrument like this. So Nadia, you're going to actually hold your instrument like this, and you're going to do the fingerings. And remember how we did half steps and whole steps and stuff like that? All right? And that's going to be super important. So we're on our open lowest string. So let's say that this note right here is that open string. Now put your first finger down a whole step higher than that on your open lowest string. So you should have this note right here. Yep. First finger tape. You got it there, Jaden? Okay, there you go. So we're here in the pattern. Now we have to go another whole step. So put your next finger, your second finger, a whole step away. There you go. Okay, and so, yep, you guys are doing great. I can see it. So when you have this whole step right here, it's very important for you to know that it's like this is the half. If it was a half step, what would it look like? Do a half step on your fingers for me for a second. There you go. Good. So it's really, really close. Or it's far away. It's not in the middle. There's no such thing as that middle note. So it either has to be close or has to be far away. Not all the way up to the third finger tape, of course, though. So let's review that. So we have open. Okay, open. First finger is a whole step. One. Whole step again for your third note, which is going to be your second finger. Good. Now we add our half step because there's no blackie in the middle there. So that's your third finger on the third finger tape. And that's where I should see this half step, 2 and 3 together. Anna's got it. Nadia's got it. Tessa's got it. Jaden, I can't quite tell. Can you face your fingerboard towards me? Good. Okay, and is that third finger right on your third finger tape, if you still have a tape? Yeah. Okay, good. Your ears will help you with that too. So we have, okay, from the beginning, open, whole step, 1, whole step, 2, half step, 3. Okay, that's our finger pattern. The scale degrees was 1, 2, 3, half step, 4. Thumbs up if you get that. Good. Now, the fifth note, 1, 2, 3, half step, 4. The fifth note, is it a whole step or a half step away? A whole step. Okay? Now this one is going to be our next open string. Okay, so that'll be a D, or for Nadia, it'll be a G. Okay? So we have an open string. Now what's a whole step from an open string? 1 on your first finger tape, good. And then another whole step, what's that? Second finger, yep, a whole step, and then your half step to the 8th note of the scale degrees. 3, okay? So what we just played on here, we had the same exact finger pattern. We had open, 1, 2, half step 3, open, 1, 2, half step 3. Now you guys can just like kind of quasi play that and I'll play it. Ready? So get the feel for it. Ready? I'm going to play it. Oh. Whole step. Whole step. Half step. Whole step. Whole step. Whole step. Half step. Good. Now this is our 8th scale degree note. That is going to be it's going to be the 1 of the next octave that we do. Okay? So let's just write down what our finger pattern was. This works for violins and violas. Where's my marker? Oh, we used them in advisory and everything got moved. So our finger pattern, so that you guys know, this was our exit ticket for last Thursday. Open, 1, 2, half step 3. Open, 1, 2, half step 3. Thumbs up if you agree. You just did that. You just demonstrated it. Okay, good. Now, on our second octave, this finger pattern is going to have to change. Do you have any idea what it's going to change to? Let's figure it out, okay? So, first of all, when we start on our first note with the scale degrees, what was this finger played with right here? Which finger? Third finger? Okay, so now our finger pattern is going to start with 3. Okay, so what's a whole step higher than 3? Open. Okay, so I'll use this because my voice is not going to go up that high. So we went 3, open. Then what's another whole step over open? 1. Yep. Now what? Low 2. Very good. That's your half step. So you're going to have that low 2. Okay, and here's what you're going to need to do. You're going to need to write in that low 2. Or that would be your, what note is that? Violins, what note would that be? This is A, right? B.
C.
What kind of a C? C natural or C sharp? Natural. Nadia, what it will be for you? It's open D. F, not sharp, it's a low 2. F natural. That's right. So you see it goes back to that thing where you had to write all the names and notes in and apply your key signature. You had all naturals. So here's what we have. So violins have third finger, open A, 1 on first finger tape, low 2. Now you have to do a whole step, right? So what's your next note? Third finger on your A string, so like this. All right? And that's going to be the same thing for you, Nadia, on viola. It's going to be low 2 on the D string and then third finger on the D string with the big space between your 2 and your 3. Okay, good. Now, that's where it's changed, okay? Okay, so here's your 3. What's the next note? Open E, okay, for the violins. And then what? That's right, Tessa. 1. Then what? Low 2. And it's kind of cool because you have this. This is the same. Like this top octave has the same finger pattern for both of those strings. It's just that that octave is different than the lower octave. You get it? So what's the name of this note right here? G natural. Do you get that? Do you get that? Okay, and what would yours be for viola? It's G natural for violin, but what would it be for viola? This is A. That's C natural. Okay, and that works for your key signature, right? Because you had no sharps or anything. Okay, so the main idea for this scale is that you're going to play high 2 on the low strings and low 2 on the high strings. Get it? Okay, so now let's just kind of quasi-play that. I'll play it on my violin, and I'm going to kind of go like, can you guys still see my finger pattern or not? I've never taught this way before. Okay, ready? Here we go, get your fingers ready to land. So we have open lowest string, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Now this is the beginning of our next octave, so let's get our brains back to the beginning of the pattern. Ready? Here we go. First note, 1, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Get it? All right, so you should have landed at a low 2 on your highest string. Something got a little bit off. You might have just not started on the right note for your second octave. It was 3. It would have been 3 on your G string for viola. Okay? All right, good. So do you understand how that pattern changes? Thumbs up if you get it. All right, good. That'll be your playing test. Okay, you play your first
not
octave.
bad.
No, it's not bad at all. It's just that, you know, understanding it took a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
Now that you understand it, you can do that for all of the key signatures that you have. Well, little by little. Okay? But that's what key signatures are there for. All right, good. Thank you. I'm going to upload this into my YouTube channel, so if you need a review, need to go over it again, you'll be able to do that. All right, nice job, you guys. Happy practicing.